Hi guys, this is literally going to be my honest, and I mean honest opinion about Liverpool and also Chelsea, to be quite honest. So to start off, we'll go with Chelsea. So if you're looking at Chelsea nowadays, they can actually have a good start to any season or a bad start to any season. But at the moment, it's like they're going up and they're going down, up, down, like that. Bit in a roller coaster. If they look at how Todd Bowles came into this situation now, to me, I think he's absolutely messed up a lot of things. Obviously, I know Abramovich did what he did, where it was stupidity to go with whatever happened. But if you're looking at Bowley now, how much of a mess his team is in, how many times he keeps buying loads of players. Yeah, keeps buying loads of young talent. Fair enough to him. Keeps helping out Enzo Maresca. Keeps helping out any manager he can up until, well, that losing streak happens. They've won the Club World Cup. They've won the Champions League as well. So fair play to that. But at the moment, like in all other aspects, they've had such a bad happening to them. Like, you beat PSG, one of the best and greatest teams under... forgot the manager. Honestly, I forgot the manager, but I'm sure down in the comments you'd all be able to just tell me who the manager is altogether. If it's not Luis Enrique, is it? Something like that. But under that manager anyway, PSG, he did something incredible and obviously achieved the Champions League. Then Chelsea, the only team to actually defeat PSG in that Club World Cup. Fair play to them. But since before that, yeah, you kept buying a few players. Cole Palmer, one of the best you've ever actually had in a long time. Enzo Maresca. Got Moises Caicedo. And obviously you got your few that are obviously at the back. Like Reece James, who's had a on and off for a while because he keeps getting injuries. Also got Cucurella, who's not actually that bad. He's been really good. Obviously, he's won the title with Spain and he's achieved the Club World Cup. Maybe he didn't get an opportunity at winning the Champions League, but he can do sometime in the future if he sticks around. But you also got a few other players that they seem not to want to play. Obviously, Raheem Sterling's... I wouldn't say he's past it himself yet. I'd still say he's still got that spark he can bring to Chelsea while he's there. But they're not doing that, are they? They're not letting him play. You got Disasi as well. Sanchez can be okay, but he's more of a rocky player at the keeper. As a keeper, should I say. And now you're bringing in more and more and more players. João Pedro, Garnacho. You've got Liam Delap. You've got Pedro Neto. You've got so many of these players, honestly. You've got Badashile. But looking at everything that you've done, what's Enzo Maresca meant to do sometimes, honestly? He's had to throw his hat out the pram when obviously that situation with Man United happened. Sanchez got himself a straight red and then that was it then. His head went like on FIFA where you just don't know what to do sometimes. You lost your keeper, your actual key player at the very back, more than your defenders sometimes. Not more than your defenders, should I say. But looking at that, yeah, you've had an amazing game where you faced Liverpool and you scored that finale goal with Esteval. But after that, you've just lost to Sunderland at home. You need to stop buying so many of these players. And obviously you keep selling players, but stop buying too many. Use them players that you've got sometimes. Maresca. Bowler, you need to stop buying too many players. Yeah, fair play to you, keep selling so many players. I don't know how, when they're not even shining a lot of the times, they're more shit because they're playing under a manager who doesn't know a lot of stuff every time. So I don't know how you're managing to get rid of so many of these players, but bringing in loads of different players, making them look like they're worth something at the moment. Not many of them actually are worth anything. Like, I'd still take Pedro Neto, but that's about it really at the moment. And Cole Palmer. They're probably the main two, because I don't think Moises Caicedo's ever reached those heights that he did at Brighton at all. I don't care that you won the Club World Cup with that situation. If you look at it this way, you've not reached those heights since that Club World Cup. You've gone up and you've took a massive dip. You're not as bad as you were last season. Obviously, and not last season where it was more rocky with Manchester United. The season before that. But you need to stop buying these players and at least try and make sure this team works for you lot, because you're not the same as you were time ago. And I mean time ago when you had all those superstars, John Terry, Ashley Cole, even you had Fernando Torres. You could have had De Bruyne and Mo Salah there, but there's so many players you've had. Carvalho, but and Petr Cech. You can't always keep all of them because they always have to retire or they leave. But it is what it is with that situation. So Chelsea needs to find some way of getting rid of more players rather than bringing so many more in. So that's why people are hating Chelsea at the moment, because all they're doing is just money grabbing players. Like, look at Modric, for instance. Arsenal seem like they just got away with buying him as how he looks at this situation. It's just bad for him. Like, Noni Madueke is just took that world by storm. Came away from Chelsea and looks, he's actually alright at Arsenal. He doesn't have to fight so many other players to get into a team. Like, all them, I've got about 5 players. And if you're in the 6th position to actually play for Chelsea, you're stuffed. You ain't going to get nowhere. And I mean it, you ain't getting nowhere. So Chelsea need to stop buying so many of these youngsters, honestly. Because all they're doing is just putting in so much more money, fucking doing the Italian way and fucking just putting salt on there and making it even worse than what it is. But that's what Todd Boehly wants to do. Keep fucking it all up for himself. Keep doing it. But in my honest opinion, those players deserve better. Well, that's it for Chelsea though. On to Liverpool. For Liverpool, this situation, this season, I wouldn't say it's like turmoil. I wouldn't say that. I know obviously Alisson's out as their keeper, their main keeper, Mamardashvili should not be in there because he's not an amazing keeper. I wouldn't say he's like, oh yeah, the pecking order of Altay Bayindir or Andre Onana for Manchester United. No, he's nowhere near that. He's a better keeper than them by far, but he's just not playing to those standards because I think it's more to do with the fact that he's shaky, the defence is shaky, and Arne Slot just doesn't know what to do sometimes. See, compared to last season, it felt a bit different. Like, you could see the situations happening where, yeah, we all take the piss and say, oh, it was Arne Slot's team that was more Jurgen Klopp's team. in my honest opinion. And it was more Jurgen Klopp's team because Arne Slot took over, but he made it brilliant last season. Yeah, I hate to fucking say it, but he did make it brilliant. It was more Klopp's team though. The likes of Jota before he sadly passed away. You had the likes of Nunez. You had Salah, who was still in his form, his prime of how good he is. Van Dijk, controlling and conducting at the back. Canate before the situations of Real Madrid have came into his head. Trent as well, how amazing he can actually be. McAllister, Szoboszlai. Honestly, you had Andy Robertson. You had all them before you brought in these new players for 400 plus million. And look at them. Like, these players were actually fantastic at their old clubs. Wirtz and Frimpong, back at their old club. They were amazing at Leverkusen. But now, Frimpong can't even get into the team. And Wirtz has been like in and out. And he can't find his form. He can't find anything of Leverkusen. He scored none in the Premier League. None. He's not scored in any cup competition, really. The best he's done was against Frankfurt, where he's got 2 assists. 2 assists. For 116 million player. Now, to me, when you look at players and you buy them like that, it's like, are they going to play to the high standards, or are they going to sink below the Titanic, in my honest opinion? Are they going to sink below? A lot of players do sink below because they don't meet that potential of money that they've been bought for. And under a new manager, it's a lot more harder than you expect. Because you don't know what those tactics will be, what style of play he wants them to play. Like at Leverkusen, he knew what to do, Wirtz. Frimpong knew what to do. Under Xabi Alonso, they just knew. That's why they were fantastic there. And they could have gone undefeated in one massive season with all those trophies they won. But they messed up, didn't they? At the end. But you can't always win every game in your entire lives and think, perfect. But fair play to them for winning the undefeated title. Like Arsenal did an undefeated title and won the gold trophy. But here's what it is. Like, I could go on about Wirtz and Frimpong, but I think everybody's seen how they've been playing. Frimpong's fast-paced, but at the moment, that's all he's bringing to the Liverpool team. He's not bringing anything else. He scored 1 goal, fair enough. 1 goal over Wirtz, who's not even scored a goal at all. And that was the 20th minute for Diogo Jota. The first game back for the Premier League. Which was one of the flukiest goals of the whole season. But for Jota, it was one of the good goals for him. From Frimpong. But after that, that's it. Kirkez, I'll go on to him next. Left back for Bournemouth. How amazing he was at Bournemouth, honestly. He was outstanding. He was one of the best left backs going. Going up and down, like, nobody could actually touch him as much. The Hungarian beast at left back. Now, going back to there, to how it is now, is so much different. It's like, under Arne Slot, Kirkez has lost everything that he should be doing. Yeah, he scored yesterday. Wow. Obviously, fair play to him that he scored against Brentford, but he didn't really do much because he was still terrible. He wasn't one of the worst. He was one of the shocking players. Pardon me. But I'd still say he can grow into that team. It's like all of them. They can all grow into being a Liverpool player. But at the moment, he's just not shining. He's not understanding the situations that are at Liverpool. It's like he's lost his edge. He doesn't know what to actually do as much. But he will become good. He's not a superstar yet, but he will become good. Bournemouth, Kirkes is still inside of him. So I'd still say to Slot, let that Bournemouth player come out of him and he will shine a lot better. If you put a Liverpool player inside of his head, I know he is at Liverpool, he won't become good. He'll just be a shadow of his former self. At least you've got one good player that you've actually bought this season in Ekitike. What a player he started off to be. Honestly, he was literally like one of the best signings that you've actually made. The money wasn't there. It's like he's been playing there for a long time in the Premier League. And I apologise for obviously that noise. But it's like he's been playing in that league for a long time since he actually started. He was off on fire, honestly. Scoring in so many games. But then when Arne Slot took him out because he bought, at the moment, flop of the season. Or you could say that he's second flop of the season behind Wirtz in Alexander Isak. Isak, you wanted that situation to happen, didn't you? You're a lazy bastard, and you know you are. You don't train at Newcastle, so you ain't going to be fitting into any team, in my honest opinion, nowadays, unless you really are going to put something into that situation, because even though you're injured now, that's your own downfall, your own stupidity. You didn't want to train with Newcastle, you didn't want to at least do anything. You wanted to be a lazy fat fucker, and you're not even fat, you're skinny. I don't get how you're skinny, but you just didn't want to train at all. Was you doing it behind closed doors? Was you doing it in your back garden? Honestly, you just didn't want to do anything, did you? And then you're playing at Liverpool, one of the top class 6 teams in the world of Premier League, and also one of the best teams in the world today. It's like, you ain't going to find your form for a long time. You're not going to find that Newcastle form. You're even worse than Kirkes. You're a shadow of your Newcastle self because you were greedy. And you're lazy. You need to find that laziness and throw it to the side and then say, oh, I want to get into being a fitness freak. And at least try and get yourself being better than what you were at Newcastle. Because at Newcastle, you were one of the best, if not the greatest, Newcastle players to have even lived there since joining from La Liga. But you're just showing yourself up of how shit you really are since joining from Newcastle to joining at Liverpool. So you've had a step up, and now it seems like you've hit rock bottom. Listen, you need to find every piece and ounce of that Newcastle player inside you and find that form again at Liverpool. Because Ekitike is the only player at Liverpool who's actually been a bargain, who's been fantastic since obviously being bought this season. And I could go on to many other players like Mohamed Salah. Yeah, he's been there for so many years. Van Dijk, so many years. And their form seems to have just dropped. Van Dijk is actually even worse than what Bruno is at the moment. At the moment, like, he's complaining about everything. He's complaining at his own teammates. He's complaining at the referees. He's not complaining about himself, though. He's not taking anything about himself. He's just basically having a go at everybody else but himself, saying how shit he is. At the moment this season, he's been absolutely dog wank. He's like a donkey who can't run at all. Like yesterday, giving away that penalty, and he still complains. No, take it on the chin. It was on the line, and it's a penalty. Stop complaining and grow a set. Otherwise, you might as well become how everybody calls Bruno Fernandes the moaning prick. Also, same with Bernardo Silva, but moaners just fucking anything like that. Stop moaning, grow a set, and fucking continue your actual game. And stop being a crybaby, because you might as well be in that contention for crybaby of the fucking season as well. And then obviously Mohamed Salah. Yes, he finally scored a goal yesterday, just like Kirkez, after all this time, all this season. But I wouldn't even discredit the hell out of Salah. Yeah, everybody wants him to play, who's a rival, but they're saying don't play him because at this situation you might as well be dropped. But Arne Slot's not seeing that. Yeah, he's found what a fantastic and amazing, legendary goal yesterday. Fucking congrats to that, honestly. Fair play to you. But you look at it this way. In my honest opinion, you still need to be put on the bench for a while as a super sub up until you find that form. Arne Slot, you need to fucking do something, honestly, about that. Because otherwise he could be another player who's just washed. His age has basically made him wash. A bit like Kyle Walker this season. He's not finding his feet. He's just making more silly fucking situations happen. Van Dijk's doing the exact same thing to your best fucking players out of these so many years. And they're both making silly decisions. Well, I won't blame it all on them. I'd still say Slot has a lot more to be blamed for, because if you look at it this way as well, he said in his interview that he's not found that formula to stop any team from set pieces. Find that formula and you become good again. Like last season, apparently. You had it as Jurgen Klopp's team. Federico Chiesa might be your happening. He might be that player that could actually make your team reignite. He wants to fight for that fucking club, and yet you're not playing him. I'd still play. You know what? Before somebody actually said that Chiesa was there, I forgot he was fucking there. I would have played Ekitike, Isak, and Gakpo up front. But now, because you're there, Chiesa, I'd rather have you playing there, even though I don't want Liverpool to keep winning or even get draws rather than just keep losing, as my honest opinion. Chiesa should be playing up front with Ekitike and Cody Gakpo. You're fucking free there. The Italian, the French, and the Dutch. But Salah on the bench, Isak, you might as well just freaking put him in reserves until he's fucking fit. Because he can't find his feet at all. And yes, I already know the missing Luis Diaz. That situation with obviously Jota's passing. Was it anything that bad? No, like, don't obviously hate me with that. But did Diaz actually have something happening that he couldn't attend the funeral more than anything else? Look at it that way. Obviously, I know what happened with his dad. Obviously, Diaz's dad. He was in prison. But Jota, obviously, sadly passing away, him and his brother. But, in honest opinion, you should have bought a defensive player. A defensive midfield player. Or a defender. More than anything else. More than an attacking midfielder. More than an actual second striker. That's turning out to be a flop. You've just gone and stuffed yourselves. And Slot, you will turn out to be another Eric Ten Hag. A fucking fraud. Ten Hag actually won 2 trophies in 2 seasons. Yes, he didn't win the Premier League, but he won the FA Cup and he won the Carabao Cup. And did that against 2 amazing teams in Man City in the FA Cup finale and against Newcastle United in the Carabao Cup finale. So you need to find your fucking form, otherwise you might as well be gone. Because FSG won't give a shit. They will literally say you're sacked when they want to say it. But it's just like they're giving Arsenal an opportunity, not FSG, but Arsenal are giving Arteta so many times, so many years upon what he's doing. Same with Pep Guardiola, after the 4 on the bounce with the Premier League. He's still get given opportunities, even though he says he wants to leave. He's still sticking around. Same with Amarim. How many times from last season where it was just a disappointment, but at the moment he's finding his formula. You just need to find that situation, otherwise you'll be like another Man City, that blip, another Tottenham blip, another Chelsea blip, another Arsenal blip, and another Manchester United blip. Like the top 6 have had those blips all together. You don't want to be in that slump. Now it's 4 in a row of losses in the Premier League. Into your first one, Palace. Second one, Chelsea. Your third one, even worse than ever, against Manchester United at Anfield. Now your fourth one at Brentford. 3 losses away from home, 1 at home, and Galatasaray away from home as well. Find that formula. Stop all those set pieces, slot. Otherwise, you'll just be in the slump. And you'll be sacked. As after yesterday's performance against Brentford, absolutely disgraceful. Honestly. But I can't tell you what to do. I can only watch the games and then record my videos. Anyways, catch you all later.